And hello. Hey there, babies. How is it going? I'm not going to be before you long. I just got something jigging my brain cells, and I decided to go public with it because sometimes, um, we just have to talk it out and be very vulnerable and forthcoming about it. And sometimes, it's just sometimes. I titled this one sometimes. Everybody needs to pick me up from time to time and see right now. My brain is just jigging me right now. And usually, I'm very upbeat and carrying on and coming to y'all with some tea to dish and this, that, and the other. But I think I want to dish a little bit of my own tea because. Have you ever been in that point in life where you get very reflective, and in your reflection you want to ask yourself, am I good enough? Am I doing the right thing? How do I move forward without necessarily caring about what other people say and think and this, that, and the other? My friends and those who I love, how do I get over if I've disappointed them or if I made them angry? How do I not wear that to where it affects me? Because I'm going through that right now. My road dog is not talking to me. I said something that he didn't like, and it's been almost a month that we've not been talking. And wanting to give him his space and knowing he's going to come around, something in my spirit says something is wrong and something has changed. And this, that, and the other. And the thing of it is, we have to be prepared for change. And life is a series of change and all that kind of jazz. So I'm dealing with that. If you guys have saw my post before earlier, my health scare that just happened the other night with me and my leg, if you did not read it, what happened was I was preparing to come to work. And as I was drying off and getting out of the shower and all of that, my leg, I have varicose veins, okay, and spider veins and all of that. And this one particular patch had started bleeding, okay? And the way that it started bleeding, it scared me because it was as if I had popped something, and it was spraying. It was a little pinhole, and it was spraying blood. And that scared the hell out of me. In that, I, trying to get together and trying to get ready for work and this, that, and the other. And I couldn't get the blood to stop. It just would not stop. And then I started to get scared and I was about to panic. But then I said, I can't panic because if I were to panic, it's going to make this worse. So I'm trying to walk around the house, but mostly stayed in the bathroom. I'm grabbing towels. I'm fucking up towels left and right. And they're trying to clean up the area because I didn't want my son to come home and see this mess, So I got my damn my spick and span and my bleach, and I'm bleaching and spraying and trying to clean this up, trying to put pressure on the wound. And then I said I may have to go to the hospital because this would not stop. So then I'm trying to walk through the house, trying not to leak and trying not to drip all everywhere or whatever. I got the towel. I can't half walk. I'm naked as a jaybird. It was raining. It was cold Thursday night. And I said, Lord, I cannot call the ambulance like this because they're going to want to take me out of here. And I didn't want to go like that. I'm like, okay, let me try to get dressed. Let me. And I just could not get it together. And it just took me for a loop. About an hour later, the bleeding stopped. I had called my job. I didn't call my job. I called my boss. and told him what was going on. Folks at my job, that second shift of my job, I didn't feel like fucking with them because I don't fuck with them like that. And I know that sounds sad to say, and it's no secret. I'm very public with it. I don't fuck with them. They don't fuck with me. And, it's sad because we're supposed to be partners and a team or whatever, but it's just like that. So I didn't want them in my business like that. So I called my boss, told my boss what was going on, and that was that. The bleeding has stopped, and it stopped. And I'm like, all right, fine. I got a hold of my doctor, and I told my doctor what was going on. And so he told me that if I were to go to the hospital now, because the bleeding had stopped, it wasn't nothing they were going to do, and carrying on, and that I have an appointment tomorrow. And so I got to go and have him look at these veins, and I know they're going to go through and do their whole vein thing, where they take and merge the veins or whatever they do, whatever that procedure is. I got to get ready for that. And as I'm going through, I'm a little scared. I'm looking at my life and I'm like, okay, where am I? And then we're close to the end of the year. So, I go through this once a year where, I look over my life and like, did I accomplish what I set to do? What is it? What did I not do? And I look at my flaws, and I know we're not supposed to, but when at least not look at them and dwell on them or whatever. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, shit, I done gained this weight. I've gained about 50, 60 pounds in the last 2 years because I'm eating candy and shit, trying to stay awake because of my schedule. I'm burning the candle at both ends. I'm looking at my health and I got to get a new grill because shit, my teeth ain't right and all of that. And, as I'm getting older, I may have to go back and redo my glasses because shit, it's all of that. And then now I'm scheduled to graduate in July. And so I'm getting to a point to like, okay, is this real? I know what I say I want to do. I know what I say I have to do and this, that, and the other, but is it real? Am I ready? Am I together, as an entity, as a brand, as a person, as what I want to do with my life and all of that. I look at all these things and sometimes I feel as though I'm falling or, my insecurities kick in, and it gets to me sometimes, I'm like, damn, and I hear moments. I got people that's in my ear. I remember conversations, and I remember some of the praises that I get for, for my work and this, that, and the other. But that was yesteryear. I'm trying to see like, what am I doing now? How am I getting myself together now? How do I move forward now? Hell, I'll be 49 in March. And, there's some things I want to accomplish. I want to become a homeowner and things, there's some things I want to do for my mom and things. And sometimes I don't feel as though I'm on the right track, or sometimes I feel as though I let my procrastination get to me because, maybe I'm not working as hard as I can or as I should, or, sometimes I'm just tired. Hell, I can't even keep my house clean because I get tired, and things and all of that. And, trying to accept new normals or whatever is very difficult because maybe in my head I'm still trying to compete with that 25-year-old or that 30-year-old or whatever the case is. It's just very interesting, I've gotten a little bit more political. So I look at my accomplishments, over the last year. 2018 has been somewhat, we've accomplished a lot in 2018. I've got the second book ready. My second book is available. I've started a new business as far as, selling my own little oils and stuff and scents that I've created and things. So that's doing cute. I'm directing a movie, an independent movie and things. I'm on the BIDA board for the City of College Park, and that's the Business and Industrial Development Authority board. I've been appointed for that. So I'm doing things, and I have some accomplishments and stuff that are very real. I'm able to. The radio show turned 9 years old this year. So we're looking at that, and I'm like, okay, yes, 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 we're forging through. But then there are moments where I'm looking at it and it's like, damn, is it enough? Am I hype? Am I all hype? Because shit, I know how I want it to look, but to me, it doesn't meet what everybody is seeing. I get the accolade from folks, and they like it and carry on. But to me, I don't think it meets up to the hype that the folks are giving me. So I'm like, okay, am I doing just enough to get by, or what? And I'm just in that space right now. My head is just taking me there. All the people that I talk to, like my best friend, my BFF, and my Brista, she got her own life and carrying on. She back home in Detroit, and she just had a health scare and things of that nature. Like I said, my road dog out of New York, he mad at me, so he not talking to me right now because he just had a health scare. And perhaps he sees me being a little insensitive to it, but it wasn't that. And trying to get him to understand that that's not going to happen right now. So he done stopped talking to me. So then it becomes, who do I talk to? Because a lot of folks lean to me. And when they lean on me, I'm there, I can give responses and this, that, and the other. But there's often times where I need that pick me up and carry it on. And like normal, most of the time, they're not available. Or, sometimes I feel as though I don't have to lean on them or shouldn't lean on them because they have their own lives, and all of that. So that's where I am right now and things of that nature. And it gets to me from time to time. I see some of y'all that came up in here. Let me acknowledge you guys so I can say, hey, okay. Elder, hey, Elder, how are you? Thanks for coming here. AJ, hey, baby. Oh, Kiara's you up in here? Okay. Justin, hello, baby. How are you? Greg and BJ. Chandra, hey, girl. What's up, Latrope? How you doing? BJ, you said what? You're making yourself overwhelmed one day at a time. Yeah, I think I am. And when I look at the big picture, most of the time I am a one day at a time kind of guy. Because that's the way that it's given. Oftentimes, I'm in that particular space, but now, today is that day where it's like, okay, what am I doing? Am I, and having this damn thing with my leg and stuff, it has me there. When you think about your mortality, when you think about this, that, and the other, and wanting to make some shit happen, it's like, damn. I don't want this to be a setback. And then I keep telling myself, no, life happens. And I'm remembering a quote from the book Go to Hell by Elfrida Lenoir. And she says in her book, life shows up so that you show up. Okay. So it's like, all right, fine. So it's like, now what is it that I got to do? What is it that I need to do and carry it on, So yeah, I'm just in that particular space right now, I'm just in that space. And I know it's insecurities and things and, trying to creep up in me and trying to get the best of me. But I have to acknowledge that so I know how to move on. Ronald, Cable, hey, Dink, what's going on, baby? Tanya, you up in here? Raymond, you came up in here. Hey, baby, my baby sister's up in here. I love you too, McKees. Thank you, baby. So, in going over life and looking at life through life's own eyes and doing the stuff that life does, sometimes maybe overwhelmed. I don't feel overwhelmed right now. I think that's it. I think I'm working towards it. Hey, David, thanks for coming up in here. Um, Sometimes I'm just not at a loss. It's just I'm almost at a standstill. I'm pushing myself forward, but it's like, damn, there's more that I can do. But then it's like, okay, I don't want my health to suffer from it, because I'm still not. I have to accept a new norm. What used to be my 100 is not my 100 anymore, and I don't want to accept that. And needing to do this and needing to do this that way and carrying on has just been that. I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, okay, I keep telling myself I need to lose this weight, and I'm very big on The Secret, and learning how to change up your mindset and what you put out there into the atmosphere, because the energy attracts itself. And oftentimes I know I'm saying I need to lose weight, but the energy becomes weight. That's the resonance. And so if weight is going out, that's what's coming back, and you mirror that. And so I have to change my thinking and change the spirit and the energy that I put stuff out there in. And I'm a firm believer in that. It's just that at times I just get lazy, and it's like, okay, what am I doing? What am I not doing? I do a lot of talking, and I need to get up and get my ass on the treadmill. If I could just start walking on the treadmill, I know I could take this weight back off. And we getting ready for Big Boy Pride, and I said I was not going to go for 2019, although I let myself get talked into going and things, and so I'm going to go. And I've registered and all that, so there's a certain look that I want to have when I get there, because let's see, since I haven't gained any weight since last time I was there, so that's a good thing. Because one of the things I don't like to see is when we all go back the next year, and you can see everybody has done gained. We done got bigger and things. And though I love big boys, I love a man of size. I just don't want to be the one that when I go back, I look bigger than what I was, and things of that nature. So it's all of that that's in my head, and trying to sort through it. And yes, I know some of it is very frivolous. Some of it is it could be specious. Some of it is vanity speaking and carrying on and all of that. However, I have to acknowledge it as real, because right now that's what I'm dealing with. In wanting to take myself to a higher place and to get myself into that realm. One of the things is about life is that we have to make sure that we're growing. And sometimes, when we're stagnant, we have to recognize that we're stagnant and then do something to shake up the pattern, to shake it up so that we can move. And I know I teach that a lot. So if I'm teaching it, then that means I have to also acknowledge the lesson, So let me go back some more. You done came in. I said, okay, David, I saw that you came in. BJ, you say, well, it'll be okay. You ain't 30 no more. Yeah, I know, honey. Okay, David, you say, well, I'm not overwhelmed either. I'm 58. You don't have to accept it. Yeah, that's true. Raymond, you say, well, perhaps you're prejudging yourself. Perhaps I am, perhaps I am. But at the same time of having my own prejudices against me, I could be my own worst enemy and things. And, and in doing that, it can be what the demise is. And I really don't want to be about all that, Hey, Adrian, you came up in here. David, you say what? Just be healthy. You can do it. I did. Yeah, I know. That's the whole goal. And see, here's the thing. I like where I am, because like currently I'm 345, 6'4" and 345, 350, somewhere around there. And that's cute. But since I've had all those surgeries and carrying on and going through dealing with my weight and dealing with the hernias and things of that nature, I'm paranoid. And so because of that, me gaining the weight, some of this weight back, because, I had lost 200 pounds. And I know when I was at my smallest was 260 pounds coming through all of this. So that was a complete 200 pound loss. Now they told me that when I get done, that I was going to start gaining. When I started gaining the weight back, was the telltale sign that okay, now we have to make sure that you're monitoring yourself because y'all know I had the gastric surgery in order to prepare for the other surgery that I needed to have. And so, all right, so around about 290 is where I love. When I had hit that 290 mark, I was looking absolute my best, I believe. I maintained my thickness because 260 was too thin. I did not recognize myself. I did not have any muscle tone. If somebody were to come and, if they hugged me or whatever, I felt like I was just a piece of paper, and I did not feel comfortable. I didn't feel like I could protect myself. I had no strength. I had no nothing. And I know a lot of that was from the surgeries and stuff. I just did not know. That scared me. I never felt so afraid in my life. And in that moment, I knew how 90-pound little white women feel when they see this ogre of a man on top of them or, and they feel as though they were helpless. I know what that feels like now because I felt that way when I was that small. When I started exercising again and get my strength back and all of that, at 290, I was lovely, and I am lovely, and that's why I want to return. And so now, in an effort of trying to stay awake because of how I was going to school, I'm working overnights, and then I'm in school, for 8 hours because, I'm taking 2 classes and I'm part-time, and they decided to schedule my classes for both classes on the same day. So I leave work at 7 in the morning. I'm in school from 8 to 5, and then get out of school. And then I may have 2 hours to myself, and then I'm back to work. So in that, trying to stay up in class so I don't fall asleep, carrying on, I was popping candy, chocolate and things, trying to stay up. And even though I can't eat as much as I used to, nonetheless, over time, like I said, I've gained this weight in 2 years. So now, if I could take off half of it by April, I'll be good. But it requires some work. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I've been talking about it, and just ain't got up off my ass to walk myself. I've been living in my complex now for almost 11 years, and they have a workout facility there. How many times have I used it? Maybe once. Okay. But I've got to get up to say, okay, let's do this. But sometimes the energy is not there. Maybe I'm too hard on myself and carrying on. So that there is that. You say, David, you say, Raymond, you say, what? You will lose the weight when you're ready. David, you say, I love big men. Yes, Lord, I love a big man, honey. Adrian, you say, what? Preach. Raymond, you say, sometimes when things are going well, we tend to find something to mess it up and throw us off of our mission. Adrian, you said, "What? I wish I felt like a piece of paper." You know what? That's cute to say in theory, but honey, when it was happening, oh my God. Because, I felt like I was able to care for myself and I can, bounce with the rest of them and carrying on. But honey, when folks would come and hug me and they were just literally picking me up off the ground, and it was like, what the fuck? And then I didn't have enough strength to bear hug back or whatever, or at least to push them up off me. Oh my God. Okay. You said, child, you had to be eating more than candy. No, honey, I'm telling you, it was candy. It was just candy. It was a lot of chocolate. Okay. Because I would go to class and that's what it was. It would be chocolate. I would have chocolate candy and I'm popping it, trying to stay up because that's what I wanted to stay up. And the thing of it is that it didn't do what I thought it like it usually does. See, usually when I take a piece of chocolate or whatever, it's particularly dark chocolate, I can sit down there and get the caffeine from it because I can't drink soda like that anymore. So it would be chocolate. So it's like, all right, cool. And next thing I know, like I got down to a 42 pants. So then some of my 42s, I could still get in them, but they're like, I'm painting them on now. You know what I'm saying? So I had to say, okay, we'll go for a 44. Now my 44s are fine, But then it becomes about designers. Now, y'all know, men of size, y'all know this to be true. Not every 44 is the same 44, particularly in certain designers and things. And I just went, if y'all saw my pictures with my purple sequin jacket, I went to the mayor's ball the other day. And I had to go get a pair of pants because I couldn't find my pants. And I'm rushing and racing and carrying on. I'm like, where the fuck are my pants? And I couldn't get them. So, child, what ended up happening, I went out to the store to go buy a pair of pants real quick. And I couldn't find my mock turtle. So this particular designer, Bagley something, whatever it is, it's some kind of Italian designer, off designer, whatever. I'm sitting here saying, okay, get me a 2X would have been cute. I said, no, let me get the 3X so I can have a little bit of, I'm not looking like I'm in it or whatever. Where this designer child, the sales rep kept telling me, he said, no, he said, why don't you try them, why don't you try the bigger sizes in this designer? And if it's too big, we'll downsize it all the time. And I'm saying to myself, okay, so I tried the 4X on. And when I tried the 4X mock turtle, that bitch was on me like an extra large. And I was like, what the hell is this? And so he told me, he wanted me to try the 6X on first. And I said, okay. So when I tried the 6X on, I was like, this is it. But I told him, I said, man, I said, I have been a 6X regularly. So I know what that is, and I don't buy 6X clothes anymore. I said, this designer here, I cannot use this designer because he would give me a fucking complex. It's just taking me too long to get out of my 6Xs. Hell, I just sent all of my 6Xs and gave those clothes away, And then the pants. Now, I had got the 44s. But, usually in dress pants, you want to get them maybe a size bigger, because you want to have the looseness. Because dress pants not supposed to look like they all up on you. So I said, okay, fine. I would try the 46s. But then when I saw, he said, no, this is the same designer. And I said, okay. So then he said, you may want to try the 50s. And I said, bitch, I'm not a 50 nothing no more, But guess what? It was the 50s. I had to get the size 50 in that designer pants in order to complete my look. I said, see, this will give me a complex all day. And not that when I was that size of big like that, I didn't care. I was all the way up to, at my heaviest, I had gotten to be maybe a 60, 62 in the pants. And I was a 68 jacket. So honey, no. I don't, it was cute when I was that big, but I don't need to be that big anymore. I don't have to prove anything. And so after all of the hell that I've gone through with this body and all these fucking surgeries and shit, no. Okay. So we know that designer we will not be using anymore. Because we're just not going to do that, okay? We're just not going to do that. So I said all that to say that, I'm at a place now to where I have to do more and be more and become better at me. I have to do better at being me, better at being a better me, my best me, getting into my best self, becoming a better friend, a better brother, a better everything, because, I care about the people that I care about. I care about people in general. I'm a very general people person. At the same time, when I enter myself, the more that I love people, the more I'm starting to realize I can't stand motherfuckers, because a lot of people do not take time to be considerate of others and carrying on, and it bothers me, because here I'm going out of my way, or not out of my way. Here I am doing what it is that I do for you or for the world in general, and then folks want to shit on it and take it for granted and all of that kind of stuff. And it becomes disheartening. And I try not to become cold or callous, but sometimes it just, it fucks with me. Okay. Let me go back and see some of the comments. Adrian, you said, wow, candy will do it for sure. I'm telling you the God honest truth, honey. That's all it was candy. Michael Turner done came up in there. Hey, baby. Adrian, you say amen. Adrian, you say you don't find 44s real quick. Well, and when you go to the right stores, you do. Because, I try to go to the big men's, and this particular store that I went to, it's known for its bigger sizes. So I knew how to go up in there. Okay, you searching them shelves. Yeah, for a lot of times you are. Raymond, you say, what? European sizing is different. Honey, don't I know it? I do. I buy a lot of stuff from Wish all the time. So European sizes and Asian sizes. Now, I'm going to tell you something, honey. A 42 in an Asian size is considered to be a 7X, child. So I was like, child, hey, when I was a 7X, bitch, you wouldn't have made clothes for me. Okay. Adrian, you said, what Raymond said. Michael, you said definitely. Raymond, you said, well, trust me, I make clothes. Our body types are different. Yes. Okay. And you said, are you a Pisces? Yes, I am, Raymond. March 4th. I'm a Pisces all day. Okay. Adrian, you said, give Wish a break. It's trash. No, it's not necessarily trash. You just got to know how to do it. So when you order stuff from Wish, you have to know what you're doing and how to do it, because I have some beautiful pieces. All of my little slinky stuff that y'all see me wearing down at Big Boy Pride and stuff has come from Wish. I get a lot of my my singlets and carrying on. I got all them from Wish. Yeah. So you just have to know how to work it. But all of that to say, being transparent today, I'm just in one of those moods, to where hell, in some instances I probably need a little bit of attention. In some instances I just need a pick me up. In some instances, I wish my road dog would talk to me, because like I said, I know what made him mad, but I don't know why he's mad for so long. And see, when you're dealing with loners and people who are by themselves, people who don't talk, people who don't share emotions and carrying on, see, it becomes a rat race, because it's like, damn, how do I apologize if you don't want to talk or tell me what pissed you off? And then, well, if you know me like you say you know me, you should already know. See, I got to deal with that fucking shit. And see, that's what bothers me. I'm like, open up your mouth and say it. Just tell me, But I have to wait until he's ready. See, that's the other thing that gets on my. I get tired of always being the understanding one. You know what I'm saying? I get tired of always being the understanding one. See, I have to understand that this is who you are. I have to understand that, it takes a moment. Everybody processes differently. Give them time. They'll come around. See, I'm always the understanding one. Okay? And see, when you sit down there and have to always be the understanding one, see, that's the responsibility or the price of wisdom. Okay? So what also happens is, as I am the understanding one, see, then it becomes, if the tables were flipped, like I've said all the time, say, I'm always quick to be the one. I'm always the one that is called. I'm always so extra, So if I'm the one who have to take it when I'm being criticized or this, that, and the other, now here I am saying something that you don't like or it whatever. Now, you can dish it, but you can't take it mentality. I've run into several people like that. They can always dish it, but they can't never take it, Or if it because I know certain things will piss me off, but I know I can process it down. And if you're right, I'll tell you you're right in a minute, Just give me a minute to accept that that's what you said. And then when I sit down and think about it, but you know what? I can't fuck with it because, you done hit something that, I got to think about, I got to change or whatever the case may be. But that's me, I'm willing to do that. A lot of people are not willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so it becomes that I'm the understanding one all the time, and I have to sit down there. I got to change my words because I don't want to hurt your feelings all the damn time or whatever, or have to go through these particular kind of processes. And I have several people like this in my life. or had several people, because some folks, they just decided not to fuck with me no more, and they ran away or whatever. And I've been accused of that my personality is much bigger than life, which I know, and I've been told that sometimes I intimidate people, and people just are not ready for my brand of truth, or not ready to step into their truth, or step into that realness or that kind of realness. And it scares them. So rather than deal with it, they rather leave me the fuck alone. So I'm like, okay. And sometimes that hurts my feelings, because I'm like, I'm looking for this out for you. I want you to be your best you. And I wouldn't be a friend if I was just a yes man, and I think somebody said I was in my head. So yeah, wait a minute. Let me go back. That was you, Raymond. Okay, wait a minute, hold on. Terry, hey, Terry, you done came up in here. Agent, you said those Asians are demons. They are. Okay, you said that explains it. So am I. What, me being a Pisces? Yeah, child. Come out of your head. Agent, you say games. Life is too short. Hey, Chris, you done came up in here. Okay, Raymond, you say what? You can't help it. People will suck you dry. Yeah, that happens. Adrian, you say fuck them. And Raymond, you say, why are you putting yourself through all that? Well, because Raymond, as you know, Pisces, you can't give us nothing to sit down and think about. And when you, like I said, I'm right now in a time where I'm reflecting on my life. And so as I'm thinking about my life, I'm trying to put everything into perspective and how do I move forward, And in this particular event, it's like in moving forward, what do I cut? Who do I cut? And carrying on. What is bringing me value? What is this? What is that? And see, like with family, friends, real friends, are the family that we choose. Okay, and that's the operative word, because I get to choose you and carry it on. And if it's real, then it ain't going nowhere. Whatever disagreements and stuff that we have. And so now it's like, okay, now in that, as with everything, life changes and things change. And I think I'm a little fearful of whatever this change is coming. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're dealing with someone who's a loner and things of that nature, because their world is their world. So when they make a change, they're quick to cut shit loose and this, that, and the other. And it's like, okay, then what do I do with that? But accept it. And so then it's like, how do I, what am I going to, how do I maneuver this, that, and that? It just becomes one of those things that, is all about accepting the change, basically. And so it's like, all right, as with everything else, I just said earlier at the top of this, I have new normals that I'm not willing to accept yet about me personally. I'm not the 17-year-old, I'm not the 25-year-old, hell, I'm not even the 45-year-old anymore that I once was. So it's like accepting those changes and able to move forward. I don't do things exactly the same, the way that I did back in the day. I could still do it, but it's not the same, And so in understanding that, what is it, how do you maneuver? How do you navigate through it? So that's where I am. And something like this, I usually don't go public because oftentimes I've been accused of, oh, child, you just put so much of your business out there, whatever. But most folks feel, they go through these kinds of changes and they go through this and they go through that. And in doing so, some people lose themselves in it or whatever and don't know how to recover from it. So yeah, we got a number of people that came up in here. Brandon, hey Brandon, how you doing, baby? Came up in here. Kevin that came in here. Adonis, hey baby. Raymond, you say what? If they cut you loose, then they cut you loose. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oftentimes I don't take rejection well, and I have a strong abandonment issues that I'm still trying to resolve from back in the day. So when folks just cut me loose abruptly, and I have no reason, particularly close folks, it's not the fly-by-nighters. You know what I'm saying? The fly-by-nighters and carrying on, that's neither here nor there. But those who I've been close to, And I have put you in my circle and in my inner circles and this, that, and the other, and to just abruptly cut loose or whatever, oh my God, yeah, that'd give me anxiety, because it's like, okay, what the fuck up? What's happening? What did I do? And then sometimes it's not me, and I don't know that, because it's like, shit, you just dropped off the face of the earth. But and yeah, it happens, but it takes me a longer time to process that than normal, or maybe that is my normal, and yeah, because I don't deal with that well. You say, Ray, you say, well, it's our form of therapy. Yeah, that's true. It is our form of therapy. As far as talking publicly and stuff. Because we as Pisces, if we can get a court, honey, we can do that shit. So, be that as it may, I just wanted to come on here for a few minutes just to vent, I guess, and to get that up off of me, because I got to put some pieces together and things of that nature, and get ready for 2019, because, like I said, I'll be 49 in March, and so I'm preparing for 2020, because I'll be turning 50 then. And for those of you who are 50 and above, if you've already made it, honey, save me a seat, because I'm coming. What it is, I haven't thrown myself a birthday party in such a long time. I think the last time I was in my 20s, 27 or something like that, somewhere around up in there. But whatever it was, the next birthday party that I throw for myself would be the 50th. So I'm in preparation for that. See, I'm already preparing to think about what I want to do for that, how I want to do it, what I want to do, and all that kind of stuff. So in that, yeah. So there is that. I got to get back to work. I'm supposed to be walking these damn floors, and I'm walking them, but I'm taking my time because I don't feel like doing this shit. So we're going to go from there. I didn't introduce myself from the top of this, but y'all should know me by now. For those of you who may not, and just happen to click on this because you saw somebody talking, I am Demetrius Big Meach Taylor, and usually I would say this is dishing tea with Big Meach, honey, but today you were dishing Big Meach's tea. In that regard, so be that as it may, I welcome all comments. So if you're catching this live, or if you're catching in the archives or whatever, still put your comments down there and let me know what you're thinking, or how is it that you've been able to give yourself a pick-me-up. I got to get into my, I have a playlist that I call Learning to Love Myself. And on that playlist, I put down all the songs that, those love songs or whatever that you sing to your boo, and, that special someone that you have in your life. I take those songs and I sing them to myself, because I have to learn how to love me, So, songs like, You're All That Matters to Me by Denise Williams. Are y'all familiar with that song? And the words are, you're all that matters to me, my love. You're all I wanted. You're all I needed. The disco song, If I Can't Have You, I Don't Want Nobody. Ow! Yes. If I can't have you, I don't want nobody. Now, how about that? Now, sing that to yourself, child. If I can't have you, I don't want nobody. Babyface say, honey, as soon as I get home from work, I'll cook your dinner. I'll run your bath, all of that as soon as I get home from work. Well, honey, if I'm single and it's only me, I got to do that for me, right? So, honey, sing that to yourself. As soon as I get home from work, honey, okay, I'll pay your rent. Ooh, I'll buy your clothes. I'll cook your dinner too. As soon as I get home from work. How about that? Okay, so on this playlist, the Learning to Love Myself, I think I just need to listen to those particular songs and get myself into a spot to where I'm rejuvenating myself, because I think I haven't replenished myself in a little piece of a minute because I've let other entities come in the way. Not that I let them take me off my square, thank God, because, that'll be a whole different thing. Just that I need to replenish. I've been giving out so much to where I have not been able to replenish. So I think that's what this is. This is a cry for me to replenish that energy and to replenish myself so that I can get back up into the race of things. You know what I'm saying? The glass is half full, honey. So we got to now pour oil into the glass, honey, so it runneth over. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes, see, I haven't been pouring in, and I've been giving folks the shit from the glass, and I'm not supposed to. You ain't supposed to give from the cup. You're not supposed to give from the cup, honey. You give from the overage. It's the overflow, honey, what you give from, because the overflow ain't yours. That's what you give from. And as long as you give it from the overflow, the cup will never be empty. Okay? Long as you're giving from the overflow, the cup will never be empty. Message for me. So there you have it. Okay, I think I do feel. I just gave myself that. So yeah, okay. As long as you're giving from the overflow, the cup will never be empty. You're never supposed to give from the cup, children. The cup is yours. Okay? Yeah. What you say, get back on the grind. Let's get back on the hustle, honey, because the grind, honey, I'm not hamburger. I don't need to grind up like a hamburger meat, honey. If I'm going to be a steak, honey, leave me a steak. I'm going to get back on that hustle and sit down there and make, because you got to have multiple streams of income. I'm in this space to where I want to rebuild, I want to see Black Wall Street rebuilt, but I want to do my part instead of just talking about it. So I have to do my part. I have to become financially literate and understanding how money works. I had to come out of my fears of business and get into being a business person, on all levels and in all streams. I'm a fair man, and oftentimes business is not fair. Business is business. So, I have to get into that. But in that, I know the kind of businessman that I want to be, and I want to be someone who is honest and fair and, who takes the right steps to make some things happen. Does that mean that it may take me a little longer to grow or whatever? So be it. But I want to make sure that my integrity in carrying on is there. What's an empire? No, a dynasty, darling. I want a complete dynasty. Okay, I want a complete dynasty. I want my grandchildren's grandchildren, and to reap the benefits of all of that. Get it? Okay. So that there is that. So that's where I am, and be that as it may. So on that note, honey, let y'all go so I can get back to doing what I got to do here. Please take time to go to my website, dishandtea.com. We're in the process of revamping it, so it may look a little scraggly from time to time. But we are revamping it. So please go to dishandtea.com. Follow me on all of my social media platforms. I'm Big Meach everywhere, and that's MEACH. Big Meach 1. Big Meach 7109 on Instagram. And for everything about that, please go there. So with that in mind, honey, let me get back to making these donuts and punching this clock, child. And I will talk with you guys again soon. This is not one, I didn't want to come back on the live to do this. Y'all know we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about these damn elections and all of that. I just saw another video where, we have, what's the baby? The security officer that got killed by the cops. Okay, as he was doing his job. Okay, stopping the man. He got the gun at the man. He got the man on the ground with his knee in the back, and the police still shot and killed him anyway. We got a number of stuff to talk about. But I think I need to just start here so I can get myself together. And that's probably how I need to start doing these things, because I don't take time for self-care. And I'm sitting up here telling everybody, honey, self-care is everything. It's okay for self-care. And for those of you who are biblical, and believe traditionally, honey, traditional teachings have told us, honey, that even Jesus strayed away, honey. He got away from the disciples. He had to go up on the mountain and get himself together, and then came back down. So if Jesus did it, so y'all want to say, and how y'all teaching that, if Jesus did it, that means everybody else got to do it too. And oftentimes when other people do it, so here's the thing, and I say this in my book. I say this one in the first one, Awakenings, Epiphanies Along a Spiritual Journey. Oftentimes, we have to give folks their space. See, folks like me, we care too hard, we love hard or whatever. We think we're supposed to be right there all the time. And we think we're supposed to be, in their space. And sometimes we have to give people the option, and we have to give them their space to get themselves together. Okay? And that's what I'm holding on to, like with my road dog, because like I said, I know he mad at me. But I have to give him that space to come around on his own. You know what I'm saying? Because usually I'm trying to fix it, I'm trying to see what's up. But there is nothing that I can do until he's ready to open up that space. So in that regard, us who are caretakers and caregivers, and a lot of times enablers and carrying on, and fixers and all of that, we thinking that we have the answer. And oftentimes we don't. We just have to let things be what it is. And we have to give people their own time. We have to allow people to process how they're going to process. And love is, if love is real, they ain't going nowhere. And that's the scary part. They are not going anywhere. And oftentimes we think that, we get a little trepidatious about it. We get a little fearful that, oh my God, what does this mean? What does this mean, honey? If it's real, it ain't going nowhere. When you release love, love comes back. That's T. When you release it, it comes back. Okay, if it was meant. Because sometimes when you release it, honey, it will go because it has to go forward. Okay, it has to go do its thing. But it's secular. See, love is secular. So when it comes back, it'll come back at the right time. And time will have moved on, time will have progressed where you can receive it the way you're supposed to receive it. And that there is that. So having said all that, yeah, I'm feeling a little better about that. I just had to give him his own space. He'll come around. It's just that I'm just in a space right now to where it's like, damn, when you're thinking about everything and wanting to make sure everything is in a row, it's like, okay, this is what can I do to do this and what can I do to do that? And sometimes the answer is nothing. It'll fix itself, it'll work itself out. But yeah, he'll come around, he'll talk to me. I say about probably right after Thanksgiving, he'll probably come around. If not Thanksgiving, before Christmas. If he don't come around before Christmas, honey, then I know something is wrong. And, that'll give me another concern. But at the same time, yeah, because in that, see, this is giving me time to work on me. Because like I said, I'm not in the right space. I got health scares and carrying on. And perhaps, both of us being scared ain't the right thing, because he's scared of his health. Like I said, he's scared. Those in my inner circle, all of us got health scares right about now. So if everybody's scared, child, okay, we ain't gonna do nothing. We ain't gonna do nothing but be on one old horror picture, running from the boogeyman and shit. So with that, that's that. I'll be all right. I just had to just get some of the stuff off of me and just talk it out and things of that nature. So having said all that, let me get back to work, children, and we'll go from there. If you love me, tell a friend, honey. If you hate me, tell an enemy. But do know this, one way, shape, style, form, or fashion, everything that I'm doing will move forward. All right? So I'll talk with you guys soon, honey. Love you to pieces. Peace.